Hello, this is KMB Comer, and today I have a revisit of my spooky flickering lighting video. This version works in 1.5, and I got it going here. You can see some of it down there. This one should be maybe doing it too. Come on, show me something. Oh, we'll go take a look down the tunnel here. So what I have is kind of just a mock-up of a simple mine shaft. Actually, no, that one at the end doesn't flicker. Yeah, it's just a simple mine shaft where I have some of these units set up, and you can see the light is on most of the time, and then it'll turn off and then flicker and then come back on. I think it's a really cool effect, and I'll show you what the units that cause this effect look like. So I'll just break out through the wall here, and we'll take a look. So I have them all just set up on the top here, this mine shaft. You can see I have every second one disabled just by putting a lever on top of the redstone lamp. The effect was a little bit too overwhelming with them all going at once, but yeah, you can see them flickering there. And I just put daylight sensors underneath the lamp to kind of, I think it makes a nice looking light fixture type thing. So over here I have few different units set up, one facing in each direction so that you can see that they work in any orientation. So these are all going, and yeah, so now I'll show you how to build one of these. So we start off with just a simple clock. Now the clock I'm using, which you can choose to use something else, but it's one of these hopper clocks. Very simple. All I have to do is put one item in, and you can see we're getting pulses as the item bounces back and forth between these hoppers. So that's the clock. Now next we want a dropper facing upward into another hopper, just like that. Now this is kind of a random signal generator. So what we have is a comparator coming off of the hopper, and depending on what we put in to the dropper, we can get different random signals. So if we put one door in, which doesn't stack with anything else, we get a signal 2 blocks long. You can see this wire here is lighting up. If we take that out, put some dirt in, you see that stacks to 64, so it's only sending the block or the signal 1 block instead of 2. So this is how we can kind of tune the whole look of the system. We'll put 3 doors in there for now and 1 piece of dirt. Now next we have a repeater there, and you can see it's lighting up every time a door gets into the hopper. We can maybe get a look at that. Door, and dirt doesn't light up. So that's that part. Next, we put in a little bit of a pulse lengthener. So we set this one to 3 and this one to 2. These timings are important. I can't really tell you why, but they are. It took just some trial and error fiddling around. So you can see every time the door gets in, we have the signal on, and it stays on for a bit. If multiple doors in a row get in up there, then it stays on longer. So that is that part. Next, we put another comparator coming off this end dust, set it to subtract mode, and we feed it back into itself, and we have to block this from interfering right here. And there you go. You can see it's giving us a pulsing signal, and then if enough doors stay in the top, you can see we get, the longer it stays on, we eventually get a solid signal in there. And that's important because that's how we get the light to stay on. So you can see it's pulsing and then steady for a second there. Pulsing and then steady. Yeah. And we just put our lamp there, and yeah, that's just about it. So it's really pretty easy to build. And we'll see it go off here as soon as, okay, there we go, pulses and comes back on and stays on until no doors go in there. So the more doors we put in here, the more often the lamp will be on, the less often it'll be off. So there's there's just 8 doors in there now, 1 piece of dirt. So it's an 8 in 9 chance that a door will be pushed into the hopper up there, so the light stays on for a good amount of time sometimes, and then it turns off and then it flickers and comes back on, stays on. So you can choose to tune this kind of however you want. If I have 1 door in there and 3 other blocks that don't stack with each other, you can see most of the time it stays off, and sometimes it'll flicker a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. It rarely comes on and stays on. It's off most of the time, but it'll flicker sometimes. And if the door ever makes it up 3 times in a row, it will flicker and stay on for a little bit. Here, let's put 1 more door in there so we can see that effect a little bit better. So we'll get 3 doors in a row. If we get 3 doors in a row, it will stay on just for a second. Come on, don't make me beg. Oh, come on. I'll take 1 item out of there. Let's see that. Come on, baby. We're having a little bit of bad luck here. But yeah, that's just showing you that you can tune it to meet your needs. Another thing you could do, if you wanted to, is you could, have this clock be disabled and enabled by something else. Like in my other video, I had a snowman walking around to trigger the system, and you could do that here too. You could have like a pressure plate that the snowman can walk over sometimes. You could have a torch above this lamp here, so that it stays on most of the time. And then say you put a pressure plate here. This is just something I'm throwing together really quick, but you could, no, that's not going to power that. Have some dust like that, and that will disable the clock anytime snowman's standing here. And then you could have the lamp just steady on if a snowman's standing here, and then you could say have him wander away and the flickering could start. So you can tune it like that. You can tune it through putting more or less items into the dropper, and you can also extend this wire here however long you want it. So we could have a bunch of wires coming off like that, and a bunch of lamps, and they'll all go in unison. So it's a versatile, cool system, not too difficult to build, and works in any orientation. The lag it's causing me, it's not too bad. I got a little bit of frame rate dip there, but I am recording as well. And last but not least, I will tab out here for a second. Sorry, just give me a sec here. There you go. You can see I have disconnected from my server. That was a server that was running on my computer. Yeah, so works in multiplayer. So that's about it for that new version of the spooky flickering lighting. I hope you guys liked it. I kind of just stumbled upon the design, thought I'd do a revisit, and it would be great for something like, say, if you were having a mineshaft building competition for the best looking mineshaft, something like that could be really cool. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of my LP, KMB Comer Plays Minecraft.